Hey, it's me, Ashley. I know it's been forever since I've done any kind of review. It's been becoming a terrible habit of mine, but I'm hoping to catch up with things. And I'm actually going to discuss a book that I've read recently. The name of the book is called Tracks. It was written by an amazing author by the name of Sarah Biermann. And I stumbled across this book through Facebook, actually. I'm a part of this. Page that basically discusses, like, I guess you could say erotic novels, but also just like romance novels, and just a lot of indie writers and things like that are a part of it. And I was actually talking with one person on the website about possibly reviewing her stuff, and then I got a random message from Sarah basically asking me to read her book and review it, and I was nice enough to, and I was pretty impressed with the story, and I felt the need to discuss it, I guess. It was a cute romance novel, basically. It's about a girl named Dylan. She's on the fast track to Harvard Law School. She moves into a townhouse with her rich friend Teresa and celebrate. They go to a rock concert to see this performer by the name of Jeremy Mason, who Teresa, Dylan's roommate, is a huge fan of, and Dylan has an idea who the guy is, but she's not fully impressed with the person. She doesn't put him up on a pedestal. So anyways, they go to the concert, and while he's performing, he locks eyes with Dylan, and it's kind of like a love at first sight thing. And needless to say, I don't want to try to spoil it, but she gets backstage, and upon meeting each other, Dylan isn't impressed with Jeremy because of the lifestyle that he kind of leads, because he's kind of the epitome of what a rock star is, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and she's not impressed with that. But so she rebuffs his advances. I'm sorry, I got like water on my desk. She rebuffs his advances, and the next day he tries to basically tell her, hey, give me a chance. He tracks her down and says, hey, give me a chance, and she caves in, and they embark into this like fling kind of, and she notices a side of him that not a lot of people see, that he's not just a rock star. He has like a sweet side to him, I guess. So they try to engage in like a relationship basically, but as the story progresses, Dylan realizes that Jeremy has a dark side to him too, and even the tagline for the book is sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and that's kind of what the relationship ends up being. They have a passionate relationship, but Dylan in the back of her mind knows that Jeremy is hiding something, and then come to find out he definitely is, and it's like this big thing that kind of tears them apart. And Dylan tries to be there for him, but then she kind of realizes that she's kind of in over her head. And I don't want to give too much away, because the way the story ended, I'm not going to say it's not necessarily a happily ever after, but it was a realistic ending to me, and that's why I like the book. And overall, it was a good read. It was a pretty quick read. It took me a minute to read it, though, because I've been balancing a lot of stuff. I've been working on my own book, but I like how it was written. It was written in a way to where you kind of rooted for the main character. Like, Dylan was written to be idealistic and kind of naive, but she was also street smart, and she kind of had her head on straight. And she was written as a person to where she wasn't in a lot of relationships, but she wasn't like dreadful to where you're just like, God, you're annoying. Like, I actually like Dylan a lot, and I actually like Jeremy's character. He was written to be like this perfect, like, like I said, he's the epitome of a rock star, and your women fawn over him and stuff, but he has a dark side to him, and he was written, even though he has like his rough edges, he was still really charismatic to me. And them as a couple, you were kind of rooting for them, but then under the circumstances, it seemed kind of realistic how things ended with them. And the secondary characters in the book too kind of added some depth to the book. Teresa was Dylan's best friend, and she was kind of mentioned, but she wasn't like thrown in there just to be thrown in there, like a lot of people tend to do with like secondary characters. And then there's also hints of a love triangle between Dylan, Jeremy, and Dylan's classmate Sean, that who's kind of a little bit of competition for Jeremy, but he takes a back seat and tries to be a friend towards Dylan, so he doesn't try to break them up, but it's kind of hinted that they could end up together. The love scenes in the book to me they were pretty passionate. They were well written. They were vivid, but there wasn't too many of them. What like some books tend to do in these cases, where they throw in sex scenes just as filler instead of coming up with like a real true story. And that's what, and I like the fact that this book did that. Like the sex scenes are there, but they're not like over exaggerated throughout the book like a lot of authors tend to do, i.e. E.L. James, 50 Shades of Grey. But that's another rant. I've already went on it. I'm not going there. I don't really have anything bad to say about the book. I really don't, because I like the story a lot, and I like that the way it ended. There's kind of hints around to where the story can be picked up later on if it wanted to. I give it like 4 out of 5 stars if that's the way I'm gonna rate it. If you get a chance, you can find it on Amazon. If you have a Kindle, you can look it up there. The name Sarah Biermann, you could probably find her on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And I just wanted to tell her that I loved her book a lot, and I'm looking forward to more that she has in the series. 'Cause I think it's a series. I'm not 100% sure, but if you get a chance to read the book, I definitely recommend it.